Welcome here to live training again from Miami. It's 22:11 local time in the US, and Real Madrid preparing for their knockout stage game, the first of the knockout round against Juventus on Tuesday. It will take place at 3 o'clock local time in the States, 9 p.m. Central European summertime. Real Madrid finishing top of their group after an excellent win over Salzburg, beating the team from Austria at the Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia to finish the group stage with back-to-back wins after drawing with Al Hilal in their opening game at the Club World Cup, defeating Pachuca 3-1, and then that 3-0 win over RB Salzburg. Vinicius scoring the first goal later on in the first half. Excellent ball from Jude Bellingham, and Vinny with a wonderful shot, left-footed, beating the keeper, made it 1-0. Valverde then latching on to an outstanding back heel. Vinny setting up the second goal. That was on the stroke of half-time. Courtois, not much work to do during the 90 minutes, made a couple of decent saves at the start of the second period before Gonzalo sealed the win with a really good goal, latched onto a ball and then just dinked it over the keeper. That was on 84 minutes. So Juventus now await Real Madrid in the round of 16. The Italian side, they impressed in their first two matches, scoring 9 goals. Alain and Wydad Casablanca, the two teams they beat in the opening 2 games, conceding just the one. But they were thrashed by Manchester City in their final group outing. The Citizens finishing top of the group, Juventus finishing behind the Premier League outfit and playing Real Madrid in that knockout stage. Now, that knockout stage has already started. If you're looking for upsets, there have been quite a few at the Club World Cup, quite a few big teams failing to make it out of the group. Atletico Madrid, for example, the other team from Spain, they finished 3rd in their group. The two teams from Argentina, Boca Juniors and River Plate, both missing out on the knockout stage. So the clubs through to that last 16 round. Palmeiras, Botafogo, those two teams met in the first game of the last 16, with Palmeiras, he got a man sent off, beating Botafogo by 1-0. It came in extra time. Paulinho scoring the winner. They then had a man sent off in the final stages. Benfica against Chelsea. That game had to be stopped due to an electric storm. Chelsea were leading 1-0. Di Maria, formerly of Real Madrid, levelled from the spot. Game went to extra time. Konku, Neto and Drewsbury Hall all scoring for Chelsea, who are now through to the last 8, thrashing Benfica 4-1. Next up at the Club World Cup, PSG, Inter Miami, Flamengo against Bayern Munich. Those two games will take place later on today here in the US. Inter Milan, Fluminense, Manchester City, Al Hilal, and on the final last 16 day, it will be the turn of Dortmund, Monterrey, and the winner of that tie would face the winner of the game that will pitch Real Madrid against Juventus. So Juventus on the same side of the draw as Borussia Dortmund and Monterrey. Now Sergio Ramos, former Real Madrid captain, plays for the Mexican side. Dortmund, Real Madrid came back to beat 5-2 earlier in the season in the Champions League at the Santiago Bernabeu. Then it'll be the turn of the last 8. The quarter-final will start on Friday. Real Madrid would play on the Saturday. So we have to wait and see how that pans out, but there'll be 4 quarter-final games. Already one tie we know of, that is Palmeiras, Chelsea. The semis on the 8th and 9th of July. The final, hopefully Real Madrid will be there on the 13th of July. In that group of players, we're seeing Bellingham, who scored Valverde's got 2 goals. Also, Gonzalo Garcia. What an incredible Club World Cup. The 21-year-old striker, he scored in that 3-0 win over Salzburg. Also scored and set up another. So that's 2 goals and 1 assist for Gonzalo Garcia, who of course made his debut for Real Madrid early in the season, back in November. Scored his first goal for Real Madrid in February against Leganés, that winner in the Copa del Rey. And now playing very well indeed for the first team. Now we're seeing Dani Carvajal. He'll be hopefully back soon. Vinny was man of the match against Salzburg. Real Madrid's performances have been getting better and better since that draw with Al Hilal. Here we are at Palm Beach. If you're just joining, we get about 15 minutes, sometimes a bit longer, open door training before the rest of the session continues behind closed doors. Now this is in quite a exclusive part of Palm Beach. It's called the Gardens North County District Park, and this is Real Madrid's HQ during this Club World Cup. Now Real Madrid will continue to play in Miami, but in the semi-final stage, hopefully Los Blancos will be there. The semis and final will all take place at the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, home to the Jets and Giants NFL teams from New York. Just gone 10:45 now, local time. It's quite warm, as you can expect, a bit humid. We've seen a few showers over the last few days, but luckily they've come after training, normally around midday, early afternoon. But the players have been able to train well each and every day. A bit of travelling, of course, because they played one game in Charlotte and another in Philadelphia. But Real Madrid about to play their second game at the Hard Rock Cafe, where they opened their group stage drawing with Al Hilal. Now we'll see a few warm-up drills and then tactical drills or ball sessions, shooting practice, performance, physical drills. They will all take place behind closed doors, but you can watch the bulletin on Real Madrid TV to see some of the highlights from this workout in Miami at Palm Beach Gardens. Now Juventus struggled last year in the Serie A, only just clinched 4th spot ahead of AS Roma, who they pipped to Champions League football, 1 point more than the team coached by Ranieri. They finished a good 12 points behind champions Napoli. Not much in the way of change at Juventus. Igor Tudor, of course, a former defender for Juve, is in charge. Main threat, Vlahovic. Yildiz is another very talented player, scored and set up Vlahovic for a goal against Manchester City. Only played for the final 20 minutes of that game against Manchester City. Perhaps Tudor just resting the German-born Turkey international ahead of their knockout stage against Real Madrid. Continue to watch this training session here from Miami. Remember to join us also in around about 24 hours time. always a training session before match day -1. This is match day -2, so there will be no press conference today. No players talking to the press. But do join us tomorrow, because we will hear from the manager probably around 11 o'clock at night, maybe midnight local time in Spain, 6 o'clock local time in Miami, and about 5-6 hours earlier there'll be another training session, so similar to today's training here at Palm Beach. We'll also hear from players before that training session, so about 20 minutes beforehand. In the past, around 4:30, the players come out and answer questions to journalists, normally 3 players. Then we get the workout, and then a few hours later, the press conference. Here we're right in on this training drill. Now the 2 centre-backs, Halsen and Asensio. Asensio, of course, was suspended for the 3rd group game. Is available for the game against Juventus, should the manager see fit. Here's a good exercise in shielding the ball. You can hear the coach saying, now it's time just to up the tempo and the intensity. All these drills aimed at how to protect the ball. Of course, no physical contact, but there's plenty of resistance training involved here. And soon the players will come out for the reduced sized practice match. Sometimes we see 2 games parallel, with and without goalkeepers. Lots of 2-touch exercises. Also the bibs are handed out. Can't really focus on who gets a bib, who doesn't, because it doesn't normally have any bearing on a starting 11. Want to see at least 14 passes here.
Mejor el elástico más arriba, eso. La próxima vez elástico arriba. Lo mismo, Arda, Rodri. Next time, higher, okay? Upper back. Más verde, que simula.
So much going on here. You can see the different groups being put through their exercises. We're seeing Jude working alongside Vinny. Yep, I think Militao's just checking to see if they all wear the same, those balls.
Vamos, buena.
And Militao training there alongside Trent Alexander-Arnold, who we heard after the win against Salzburg saying it was probably his best performance. He was happy with his contribution and that he was, of course, learning quickly, picking up what the manager wants from the player. Said it was great to be playing alongside the likes of Valverde and Vinny, having faced them in the past. Much better having those players on his team than on the opposite side.
Mili.
Not long before we have to head off. We've enjoyed this rather busy training session. Do remember to join us